It's supposed to be a fucking RPG. What role am I playing? The fucking victim? Jesus fucking Christ! It's supposed to...
I feel your heartbeat dive. Get off my feet. Feel the temperature all around me. Well, I never felt this way before, and I can't seem to get myself out the door. Forever hold your peace. Can't get a beat on you.
Yeah, man. It was nice watching you yesterday.
Thank you. It was fun. It was fun playing.
Hey,
Yeah,
friends.
awesome.
Welcome to the Adaptive Podcast. This is episode 17. We're here with Richie from Connor Bracken and the Mother Leads Band, one of our beloved friends and training partners here from Radji Barret Jiu-Jitsu. Again, the podcast would not be possible without Radji Barret Jiu-Jitsu. You can follow him at Radji Barret Jiu-Jitsu on Instagram and check out his website, RadjiBarrettJiu-Jitsu.com. Again, don't forget to support us at Adaptive Jiu-Jitsu on Instagram and AdaptiveJiu-Jitsu.com. You can check out our gear. We got really cool rash guards, patches, and a lot of great new stuff coming your way soon. This week, we're going to talk to Richie. We're going to congratulate him on some, promotions and stuff within the academy. We're going to reflect on his time in jiu-jitsu and his time training with us. Adaptive Jiu-Jitsu at Radji Barret Academy. And we're gonna maybe go over some cool videos and stuff that we curate each week for you guys, and maybe do some fight reactions and stuff. Same thing we do every week. So thanks again for joining us. We see we got a bunch of live viewers today.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. It's an honor. It's a pleasure.
Yeah,
Ready to have
Rich.
some fun.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man. Dude, your beer is tasty, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
It's a
you.
good beer.
It's good.
Shout out to Richie's band. They have a beer, Irish Red Ale. Where can you get it, Richie?
Well, actually, it was a limited edition release, so it was only out for a short period of time. But pretty much, we worked with this company, this brewery called Twin Lights Brewery. They're based out of Atlantic Highlands. What they do is they did this with a band that we were friends with. They're called Low Light. So pretty much what they do is they work with bands and they help them like get their label out, but like they also work with a charity too. So with our charity, it was called the Project Matters, and pretty much what it does, like any profit or money that was made from the sales of the beers would automatically go to that organization, and it would just be for any aspiring musicians, artists that want to get their career started in music, help them financially, business wise, like helping them get out there, and also helping them social media wise as well, just like promoting wise and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
cool.
I see that the can has this scan and jam on it.
Yeah, so you have there's a little scan and gem that you can use, so it can you scan it and it automatically brings you to our Spotify page, and that way you can look at all of our music, all the cool stuff that we've done and recorded, and hopefully come see us play live.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Cool. When's your next show?
Our next show, we actually just played a show yesterday, which Eli and Eddie were awesome to come to. It was called Pushing Up the Daisies. It was our first time playing there. So what it is, it's like they've been doing it for like 11 years from what I've heard. It's like an old historic cemetery in Jersey City, and pretty much what it does is like any money that's raised from the sales and the tickets and people coming, it pretty much helps keep the cemetery like up intact, like up and running, because old cemeteries are really hard to take care of. So I wasn't sure how much money was made yesterday. I mean, even with the rain, we had a good amount of people come out. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully we can do it next year.
It's pretty crazy too. Like I was telling Eddie, there was a spot next to the stage that had caution tape around all the gravestones, and he was like, "What? Why is that up there?" And I'm looking at it. And I'm like, "I think it's sinking." Like,
Yeah.
all like that whole area was just like sinking in. It was pretty crazy looking.
The reason I questioned it was because I looked around and people were like dancing on
Oh yeah, there was some
I was like,
people
what the
over
fuck?
dancing on
So
the
like one
gravestones,
person's taking pictures laying down. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, that's weird.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, there's no caution tape anywhere else but this one's. And then you're like, it's because it's sinking into the earth. I'm like,
You
oh
dumbass.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, true. Good point.
To be fair, I did say it like I'm a civil engineer. Like, yeah, it's sinking.
You did. He was like, actually, Ed, if you just fucking looked with your eyes,
It's
you'd
called
see it
reading
sinking into the earth.
genius.
Yeah, my triangulation tells me.
I just picture the person lying in that grave like 200 years ago, saw a psychic, and they're like, somebody, an influencer, will take a selfie on your grave one day. And they're like, what the fuck?
Well,
I
my-
want my money back.
My concern
What the
was,
fuck's a selfie?
What
I don't
does
even
that
know what
mean?
the fuck
I mean-
a quail is.
I mean, my concern was where am I going to go to the bathroom? Is there porta potties? Because I don't want to be the guy to take a piss on someone's grave. Like I'm not. I don't want to be that asshole
Yeah.
because that's just bad luck, and they're going to haunt my ass for the rest of my life.
They might.
What about dancing? Because I saw that. Like, legit weird.
Honestly, probably the spirits of the dead people are dancing too. They're like, this is
All right.
cool shit.
So it's okay.
Let's
then.
dance. Let's
I
rock
like
out.
All right.
I like that
You just don't
perception.
pee. They don't like being peed on.
No, that's. I mean,
All right.
do you like being peed on?
No.
Exactly.
Just
No
saying.
one likes being
Just
peed
say
on.
the dead. That's
It's
where they cross the
disgusting.
line.
Do you like being pooped
it.
on?
Wow.
It's going to be this show, ladies and
This
gentlemen.
is a whole new type of podcast now.
I like answered them too. Like, what the fuck?
So you
Obviously, no.
you recently had a tour, right?
We did have a little weekend. So last month, yeah, it's May. It's April was last month. April, we played at the Hard Rock Cafe in Manhattan. That was a really awesome gig.
That's
we
cool.
did 2 sets, and there's like a stage, seating area right there, and we had a whole bunch of people there, and then bars everywhere. But while we were doing the sound check, we actually had it had to be like some kind of school trip or something like that came in, and then we did a sound check, and like we were like, oh, these kids are gonna think we're lame. We start playing, like they have their phones out, they're jamming, they're vibing. I'm like, oh, this is cool, and then they just left. I'm like, oh, okay, that sucks. But after that, like people started filing in. Like it was really awesome. A lot of people that we knew were friends with. They came out to the city. They saw us from Asbury, other parts of Jersey.
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun. And then the day after, we went to Boston, played at this place called The Jungle. That was a lot of fun. That we had a really good crowd, brought the energy, and then we played at this place in I forget what it was called, some Irish pub in New Haven, Connecticut. Another awesome place. We thought it was going to be a bummer because it was like 5 people at most at the time, and we had like 2 acoustic acts playing before us, and then we were the only live band. But then when we were getting ready, we had like a lot of people show up. I'm like, okay, all right, it's gonna be a good show. That was interesting because we had 2 very, very intoxicated people just screaming at us, trying to get in Connor's face, and it was just like, all right, but just back off, go in the corner. But it was still fun, a lot of fun.
Aggro.
No, he was just drunk. He was stupid.
All right.
He was just being stupid. We had no idea what he was yelling because he was like saying, we thought he was saying feast, and then he was just yelling beast. I'm like, the fuck you getting at, dude? I don't understand.
Drunk weirdo.
Yeah, it's just
I
weird,
guess you're
really drunk weirdo.
Do you see a lot of those on the road?
Once in a blue moon, but like if we see someone drunk, it's like they're not an asshole. They're cool. They're just like, yo, dude, I just gotta tell you, man. You guys were the best band ever. Like, you guys are gonna take you. Like, dude, oh man, you touched my soul, man. You guys are awesome. They're just like really down to earth. They're the friendly drunks. They're the drunks you want to drink with and like have fun with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's take a second to address some of these live comments here. So, Mike Trattini, who we had on last week, also
He's a fucking
musician.
beast.
I was straight up.
He's jealous that we didn't fuck up your song and your intro.
But you know, to be fair, that's what I was laughing about.
Uh,
We had that other clip play first. and had
But
me
yeah,
crack
so
up.
Mike, actually, we kind of did because the shit that we accidentally played an Instagram clip that we're going to share later. So that screaming that you heard in the beginning was not intentional.
Would be
So
really funny if
why does
we
that
heard it,
happen?
but no one
Why
else
the fuck
heard it.
does that
That's
happen?
like our
We're
thing now. We had a good laugh during it.
Because we don't know how to use computers.
So for anybody who was
Thanks, Richie.
listening-
Richie pointed it out last week.
yeah, you guys don't know how to work computers.
Yeah, Yeah, we definitely don't know. And so for those of you listening, we played Richie's band, Connor Bracken and the Mother Leeds band, and we played what was the name of the song?
Read on You. That was one of the
Read on
tunes
You.
on the track.
Read on You. And the album was Nightbird.
Nightbird Motel. We
Nightbird
just
Motel.
released it. We were supposed to release it 2020, but we did release it. We were supposed to have a record release show that year, but obviously it got pushed back. We had to play it to 2021. That year was awesome because we had 2 shows at House of Independence in Asbury Park. We had a limited capacity gig where people were like kind of seated, socially distant, and whatever. And we did like an acoustic set before, and then we did
What was that like?
It was interesting. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought. We ended up selling out. That was the best part. We sold out that one, and then the full capacity we sold that out too. So it was like we had 2 sold out nights in Asbury that year, which were really cool. So
that's awesome.
How many shows did you do this year so far?
So far this year we did we did New York City in April, then so we did 3. We did 1 in Philly last week, actually. That was a lot of fun. Jersey City
last
night, and then we got Philly in June, and hopefully
June what? June 18th.
June 18th. That will be a Saturday, and hopefully maybe some July gigs, and then fall gigs, and see what happens. But
that's cool.
So far, we've had a lot of great shows.
Fun. You know,
How long have you guys been together?
So with I've been with Connor specifically for like almost this fall would be 7 years I was with him.
Wow.
So, but it was funny because I met him before, like, well, the thing with him, like, he started this band back in like 2011. So he's really been the heart and soul of this band, like through the entire go through. Like he's just had different members. So he started 2011. Originally it was called Leeds, and believe it or not, my old band and his band played we played the same show at Court Tavern one time. Mm-hmm. My old band was called Killer Waves. It was like it was a punk mixed noise band. It was very loud and obnoxious to the point where all of us, like, we were so loud people's ears started bleeding. It was like,
oh my God.
It was fun because I was with my buddies, but at the same time, people weren't enjoying it. So we're literally just playing into an empty room and everybody's outside having a cigarette break, being like, why the fuck am I here?
Right.
And then he had us on that bill. And then, apparently we got the cops called on us that night.
Oh, shit.
I had no idea. I found it out later. It's like, yeah, you guys got the cops calling. And I'm like, awesome, dude. Awesome.
We're a real rock and roll band.
So that band eventually, Killer Waves, like, we kind of distanced ourselves. I wasn't playing with them as much anymore because I was just getting tired of it. Like the venues we were playing at, I was like, I want to play real venues. I just don't want to play like dirty basements or like in front of like college kids or something like that. It felt weird at the time. But Connor mentioned to me like months later, like 2015. He's like, hey, listen, I'm starting to get this band back on the track. Would you want to be my drummer? And I had nothing else to do. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. I'll be your drummer. And I've been his drummer ever since.
How long have you been playing drums?
I started when I was a sophomore in college, like literally New Year's Day of 2010. Like that's when I first started playing the drums because my father, he was actually a drummer.
How old are you? So how many years have you been playing drums?
I'm 28, sophomore year. I was, how fucking old was I?
20, I mean, you're like 20-ish.
19, 20?
About like 10.
So almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years, a little over 10 years I've been playing.
Nice. And that's a late start, though, too.
Yeah, man.
It very is, especially like because a lot
like
of
10 years later, it's not like you're old now, and you decided to do it and stick with it. So
I'm still rocking the fuck out. That's all.
Hell yeah.
But my dad was a drummer.
Picked up something new.
So he was playing for a while, and he'd do like a lot of wedding gigs, he would do a lot of weddings. But then eventually, like, he kind of stopped because he was getting tired of it. So he had his drums in the attic for a long time. And at that time, I was really starting to get into music at a late age. I was listening. Originally, I wanted to play guitar. Like, that's the first thing I wanted to do. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to be like Kiss, Ace Frehley, Eddie Van Halen, Jimi Hendrix. I want to shred. But then I'm just looking at how they move. I'm like, shit, I can't do this. This is so complicated. And then just seeing like guitar braces and just like the articulating of the fingers, to me, it kind of like realized I couldn't do that. But
that's the first reason why you couldn't play guitar.
Yeah.
You told yourself you couldn't.
Exactly. Negativity. Don't believe in negativity. But no, but then like later on, like I was like, my dad had the drums, and like I would secretly kind of go up in the attic, like take like a drum or two, and I would just start banging it, playing around with it, and then like it's like, all right, I kind of got like a good rhythm going on. And then I just started looking like at videos, like drumming and just people drumming. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And obviously, the first video I look up to is obviously John Bottom's Moby Dick. And then, like I heard John Bottom, and I'm like, I want to be a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way
I mean,
he
he's a
played,
beast.
his groove, like. And then
He
Dave
was a
Grohl,
jazz.
he definitely
He was a jazz drummer, I believe.
he was a jazz drummer, but he had like a lot of groove. It wasn't just solid like rock beats.
No, but I think he originally that's what he grew up
originally he
playing.
was jazz.
So you can kind of hear it in Zeppelin. You know what I mean? Which is
Absolutely.
fucking-
I mean, most drummers back then, like you started out with jazz.
his
like,
rhythm is just
most of the top drummers like were jazz drummers. Like you're talking about Buddy Rich, Steve Gadd, like all jazz drummers. Like that's really where it started.
I think what was unique with him is how he played like almost opposite of what Page was
Absolutely
playing on guitar, and somehow it just fucking
his rhythm just meshed into everything, and it was just amazing. And his drum setup was just so, it wasn't like Peter Criss from Kiss, where his drums were just everywhere. And it's like at that time, like, oh, Peter Criss is great because he has all these drums, he can hit them all at once and then just be this awesome drummer god. But no, like you look at Ringo, you look at John Bottom, you look at Charlie Watts from Rolling Stones, like they were simple, but their ability to keep time and just use what they have and be effective with it, that's really what it is. Like the fact that you have that ability to be effective with what you have. Like the simplistic is the better. Like that's why I just stick with being simple with my drum setup. Like I'll just have two crashes, one ride, hi-hat, and then like a tom, floor tom, snare, and that's it. Maybe like an extra floor tom, but just be simple. Like I don't need all that fancy schmancy BS, you know?
Yeah.
That's a really cool take on that. Like,
yeah.
Because I mean, my dad's kit, like he had a pretty big kit. He had 4 rack toms here. He had a floor tom, one bass drum, snare, but then he had all these fucking cymbals. He had chimes too, and I'm like, oh, yo, dude, this is awesome. And like I'm playing them, but like as I progressed longer, I kind of got more comfortable with what setup I enjoyed better, because it's like, all right, I really don't play this, I don't play that, I just play this, and this, and then really that's really all you need as a drummer is just those 3 things, those 3 drums, a crash, a ride, a hi-hat. That's all you really need, and everything really is just for show.
You know, it's interesting because damn it, I can't fucking remember which. There's a famous drummer. God damn it! It was a famous drummer from like a rock and roll band from like 30 years plus. I can't remember who it was.
Neil
But they
Peart?
basically
Neil Peart. Yeah,
no,
I was thinking Neil
whatever.
Peart.
I'm not gonna, but I'm gonna tell you what he said. It was pretty interesting. He was like, it doesn't matter if you like even play someone else's music or whatever. Everyone has their unique fingerprint on how they play drums. Like but like they could distinguish like drummers because of that way. Like drummers can distinguish other drummers.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's like they leave a finger. Like if you have a good ear for drums and stuff like that, because you play, like you leave like a fingerprint of your own. You know, it doesn't matter if you play like a a remix or if you're just covering it. You know what I mean? It's like it's still gonna sound different from the original guy that did it. I thought that was really interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do really do. And you also notice how they tune their drums too, because each drummer's drum is tuned differently. So it does bring a different sound to each drummer, and it makes it more unique.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's fucking cool. I can't fucking remember who said it. I wish I did. It might have been like Dave Grohl or something.
Probably. Sounds like Dave Grohl.
I love Dave Grohl.
And also Dave Grohl's another inspiration too. Like his drumming was
I for reasons you may not like him, but
Yeah, I have my other reasons.
Dude,
I mean,
he's
he's fucking.
I mean,
You know
we're
what?
just
I
talking
think
about
he's the-
drumming.
I think he's the
so
Dr.
it's-
Dre. I think he's
in
the
that
Dr.
narrow
Dre
scope.
of
cool guy.
rock and roll.
What are you talking about?
So
Makes sense of this
His-
right now.
his ability to produce music, like after he left Nirvana and he grew with Foo Fighters, once Foo Fighters became famous, he started working with other bands nonstop and building them up. And he started bands. He was in bands. He was just guiding them, and he ended up. I think what was it? Queens of Stone Age. He got famous too.
Queens of the Stone Age. He started up with like it was like he was taking like a little break from Foo Fighters at the time.
Right.
And then Josh Homme, the guitarist from Queens of the Stone Age, who was like, "Yo, I want you to be a drummer." He's like, "Yeah, cool, I'll be your drummer." And like he drummed for them for a little while, and then he left, and then Joey Castillo took over, who's another inspiration of mine.
Was it true that Kurt Cobain didn't like him?
Who?
Dave Grohl.
In the beginning, probably, but then like I think they grew time longer. I believe.
I think they were pretty close. Dave Grohl wrote a couple songs about him in the double-sided CD.
I don't think it's like Dave Grohl had a problem. I think Kurt Cobain didn't like Dave Grohl.
But when you hear Dave Grohl talk about, I mean, obviously, why would he?
Well, he was older. Dave Grohl came on, he was like 19 or some shit like that. He was young. They were in their like early 20s, so they were older. He might have been like this fucking kid, dude. People back then had different mentalities. Men were, younger.
What's the Foo Fighters drummer's name that just passed away?
Taylor Hawkins, man, rest in peace.
Yeah, that's another good drummer. He was awesome.
I mean, that was hard for me because, like, I mean, again, when I was in high school, like, huge Foo Fighters fan. As much as I love John Bottom, Dave Grohl as my drummers, like at that time, he was definitely one of the drummers I idolized most because I felt like I connected more with his energy and the style at the time. So I would always look at his videos, try to emulate of what he was doing. So like for me to hear that, it was really heartbreaking because he was definitely a huge influence on my drumming, without a doubt, and music as well.
Yeah, he's awesome, and he was like, wasn't he a philanthropist too? Like he was always doing like really like nice things behind the scenes.
Oh, absolutely,
absolutely, helping charities and stuff like that. He was like
Dave Grohl?
No,
Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah,
and he really brought a lot of energy to that band too. So it's a shame that he's gone.
Yeah, but my point with Dave Grohl being like the Dr. Dre of rock and roll is because he was.
No, I get it.
You get it now. All right. Make sense of this right meow.
right meow. So Mike Trattini also wants to congratulate you again and say that your show last night sounded sick.
Thank you, Mike. I love you. You're an amazing artist. Your album is sick.
Hell yeah.
Go check out Michael Trattini too. He's a badass.
I want to do a video with
Richie,
Mike.
Congrats on the brown belt,
Yeah, man.
man.
Oh yeah, that's why we're here. We're talking about not drumming, but jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
sorry, I forgot that.
No,
We
we're
wanted
talking about all that shit.
Yeah, we're here to talk about you, bro.
I just thought about it. And I wanted to congratulate you. Richie got his brown belt the same night that Trattini got his brown belt. So
yes,
it was, special, man.
A very special moment. The fact that I got to share that moment with Trattini, because me and him and also Shulk and Cheville, we all started at the same time. So it was it's really.
Damn, you guys
really special
training,
and also to see like how far we've come within like the almost 7 years we've been together, just always pushing each other, just seeing how far we've come. It's just really special that I got to share that moment with him. So it was really awesome.
So now that we're walking into the jiu-jitsu stuff, I do have some questions. So how long did it take for you to get your brown belt?
It took me almost 7 years. So I started like June, July of 2015. That's when I started. And I got
one of the Tasty Subs crew.
Absolutely,
we had a couple of you guys.
Yeah, we definitely had. It was so Steve Maroldi was really the one that brought me into jiu-jitsu. So I really have to give all the credit for him, because if it wasn't for him, I probably would have no knowledge, no interest in jiu-jitsu. I would have never met you guys. Most importantly, I would have met Radji, the most awesome professor friend I could ever ask for. So, Steve Maroldi, thank you, bud.
Yo, to be fair, so did me and him, because if it wasn't for my brother just calling me up, because my brother worked with you guys, obviously. Steve Maroldi trained with Radji, beforehand. So it was
that's true.
He was with Radji when he was just a purple. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's old school.
Yeah,
that is true.
So fucking Tasty Subs. If it wasn't for fucking Tasty Subs,
if it was for Tasty, God bless Tasty.
This part of the episode is brought to you by Tasty Subs.
Tasty Subs. Get our super sub, and for $1, you can get pepperoni added onto it. Get your lettuce, onions, tomatoes, oil, vinegar, salt, pepper, oregano, and you want mayo, Russian, and maybe mustard.
Holy shit, he's gonna go off the whole menu.
I worked there for 6 years. I have that whole shit memorized.
I'm hungry, and if Amanda's still listening, she's excited because she loves Tasty Subs. I know that for
that place
a fact.
is a fucking gold mine.
It is. They still make the best subs. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. They do.
I think they had a little drop off for a little bit, but they're back.
I haven't had them in a while.
No, they're back.
They're back.
They're back, baby.
Baby got back. Baby got back. I don't know where I was going with that.
So when you first started jiu-jitsu, what were your impressions? And like kind of walk us through that.
So it was weird. Like I look at myself back then, like when I first started, because like again, like every white belt goes through this. They're in their gi. They don't know how to tie their fucking belt.
Shame.
But obviously, I was just like awkward because I'm like, I've never worn this before. What the hell do I do? And then obviously, when you're going through the transitions, like techniques, someone teaching you things, like you don't know what you're doing. You're just kind of going with emotion. But like obviously, like when I first started, it's because it's interesting to see white belts now because you see them going for a lot of attacks, a lot of arm bars, chokes, which is awesome to see. Like I love to see that because when I first started, I didn't go for any of that. I was just looking for more like he's just getting out of positions, being more defensive, because I think that's led me to where I am today. Because if you roll for me, I'm always going to be defensive. I'm like I'm more defensive than offensive person. Now it took me later on to start attacking, going for submissions, but I was always defensive, and I was always in this little bubble because I was afraid to kind of like expand the horizon because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get caught in something, I'm gonna do something, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna fail at it miserably. But like really the best option is go for it and fail, because that's the only way you're gonna learn, is to fail more and more, and then again fail less and less, and then you begin to get the move down. But
that made me think of that scene from Pulp Fiction. What that was, Ving Rhames, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to Bruce Willis. He's like, "That's your fucking pride, fucking with you."
That's interesting. That's I feel like that's kind of like me too, because like when I started jiu-jitsu, like I played other sports, but I never did any like mixed martial arts or anything like that. I loved boxing. I did a little bit of boxing, but from an attacking perspective, like choking, arm bars, key locks, stuff like that. I didn't know any of this stuff.
Dude, I still don't know any of that shit.
Like I'm trying.
I've been doing this shit for 7 years. I still don't know any of that.
Don't say that, brown belt.
Nah, you know.
That's modest.
Your defense is like top notch though.
Thank you.
But it's
Thank you.
It is unbelievable.
It's this relentless.
Shout out to Hot Neil. He just subscribed. Thank you. Everyone
Richie.
listening, please like and subscribe.
Hi, Neil.
Hot Neil says, Hot Richie.
Neil, you are extremely hot tonight, so just want to let you know.
We love Hot Neil. Thanks again for listening.
From this day forward,
Thanks for subscribing, brother.
He'll be known as Neil.
But it was funny
I just
because
always think of that scene.
The hot is implied.
because I had no experience with this, and Steve came up to me because obviously during that time I was going through a really rough time, and he's like, "You want to do jiu-jitsu?" I'm like, "I was thinking of doing like CKO, like kickboxing," and he literally looks straight at me. He's like, "Rich, that's fucking bullshit. You want to learn something real and actually be used in life? Do jiu-jitsu." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll do jiu-jitsu." And then
That's dope.
and that
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah, seriously. So Steve is MVP. Steve is MVP.
He's a real MVP.
But like that first class that I took, like it was all over. I was doing this for the rest of my life. Like I just fell in love with it. It was fun. And not only that, it was just the atmosphere too. Because like Radji is definitely someone you can trust and you can feel comfortable with too. And I think that's really what was important to me, because it's like obviously you go to like any jiu-jitsu school and like the instructor's a dick, or you see like people who are like really rough with you, being mean with you, like obviously you're going to turn away. But if you're with people who have like arms open, warm, welcoming, willing to help you, like that's really where it's at. Like that's where you want to be, and that's where I felt comfortable with it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, the environment is just
Culture is important in a school. I guess it just depends on what you're going for. But I think that when you try to make that point too, I don't think that you have to have like a shitty aggressive culture in order to have really great technique and competitive jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? And our school is a beacon of that. Yeah, it's absolutely a beacon of that. And so
I've discussed.
what environment would you rather train in? Like we're gentle killers. It's different than like, would you rather that, or would you rather people who are like dicks about it?
Exactly.
I think
it just makes no sense.
No. See, here's the thing, man. Accidents, injuries happen. no shit.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's.
But my point is this: we have people that are high level technique wise that'll go out, but everybody's trying to make each other better. It's not like I'm trying to hurt you. You know what I mean? That's the difference. There's people in like other gyms that are training like they're like training for like a competition, just trying to beat every fucking person they're going
that's
with.
that's the difference.
It's unnecessary and it's unwise actually, because
like I've discussed,
you get hurt.
I've discussed this at the school. Like
It's just
if you
train longer.
want a competitive atmosphere, and you need that, I'm the only person that I'm looking out for. There's schools like that for you. There's places,
and you notice those
there's
places don't have
that
many
you go.
people.
No, and those places,
Or they have high turnover.
and those places are usually
Yeah.
like a
But
couple
that's what I mean,
people.
like,
There's usually a couple people in that
medium.
gym that are the ones that are like headlining for that gym. And one of the reasons that they stay open because they're either fighting or they're competing. And then there's turnover for other people because they want to be part of that environment. Maybe they have a nice facility or whatnot.
and then they can't survive, or
Right. And then move on. But
or they just it's not their
I think the places that get
their
it
thing.
have what
I mean,
we talk
jiu-jitsu
about.
is not for everybody.
I don't mean that. I mean maybe you love the sport but you hate the gym.
I knew what you meant, but sometimes
Yeah.
you just
Here's
get
an
people that
example.
pass through because of that.
Here's an
reason, too.
example. How many people have we seen come to the school that have training at MMA gyms, and they're like stunned at like the level of jujitsu and technique at our school
Mhm.
and
Especially
what
in
they've
gi.
been focusing on at their schools. You know what I mean? Like they're focusing more on striking the sexy stuff, and then when they get to this, which is like what is it? 90% of fights end up on the ground.
Yep.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like.
Mhm.
Well,
And they have nothing when it gets to that point.
doesn't also seem vague when someone comes in and they're like, I have MMA training.
It's just like, okay, we'll see.
I'm like,
You s-
which
one?
which
Striking
martial
or
art?
ground?
Yeah,
Like,
which martial art? And I guess you could maybe it's not untrue. Maybe someone told them like this is your MMA training, but doesn't that sound general? It's like too generalized.
What MMA training?
Yeah,
It's super. It has like
isn't it?
it's
Like,
like
are there places out there being like this is MMA, like
bro,
MMA style this,
Yeah.
like or MMA style that?
It's like
it's
like
not
I got my degree in business. You know what I mean? Like, well, what
Yeah.
part of business did you get your degree?
exactly that's what I
No,
mean.
but there's
So it's like-
gyms that have like their MMA because they'll have hired jujitsu coaches and
Mhm.
fucking striking coaches and like
Muay
So
Thai.
another-
And
well, I know that, but
wrestling.
what I'm saying is that when a student comes out of there, or like, wouldn't you say the specific types of arts that you learned from those coaches at that gym instead of saying like
it depends on the
I'm
person
trained in MMA.
and how honest.
Yeah.
that's what I
yes,
mean.
I agree.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
if
is that
somebody
it
tells
sounds,
you I'm trained in MMA, that doesn't mean anything. That you can know right away that they're not good.
that's
at
what I'm trying to
anything.
say, and I'm not saying that's 100% of the time.
No, it's just they're good at being spastic
I mean,
and
I've
throwing
never-
their arms around and trying to
But,
think they
but
know
here's the
it.
thing:
No,
I've
it's
never
just
really
not,
heard
dude.
anybody come to the gym.
I'm not
But
saying
I've
our
never-
gym, but I've
You've
heard
never
people
heard
say
that?
that.
I've actually heard that.
No.
Yeah.
Time out. You didn't let me finish. I've never heard anyone come up to me
So rude.
and say like, "Oh, I train MMA." It's usually
I
like
have.
it's usually like they say what they train and they say, "Yeah, I train for MMA fighting because they fight in cages."
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, okay. So you train everything." And it's usually like a conversation. It's not like I train MMA. How are you? Like I don't know what the fuck. Like I don't know. I've never experienced that. I don't know.
I have. I definitely have.
I mean,
Dude,
I
I've definitely
guess-
had it a couple times.
Yeah.
A couple.
I'm not saying at our gym. I'm saying like people, right? Like
Yeah.
out.
Oh, people. Yeah. Okay. Fair. I thought we were talking about our gym. That's why I said our gym. I've never had
Oh,
anybody
no,
come
no,
to our
yeah.
gym and say something.
In our
goofy
gym,
like
I've
that.
had it at least twice. At
Twice?
least twice. Yeah.
I've never
I
had
can't
anybody.
even think of the one guy that we've addressed once or twice before, which I'm not going to blast anybody here.
blast. No.
No, but it's happened to me a couple times. Like people training outside of school, like you're training with them, and obviously they see your rank. They're like, "Oh, like now I'm brown." It's like, "Oh, you're a brown belt, so I have something to prove." And then it's like, that's all bullshit. Like you have nothing to prove. Just do your game, let them work, and then you just work from there. Like you're not getting anything. But like people have rolled with me, and they're like, "Oh my god, dude, your technique is so good." And I'm like, obviously, I downplay myself a lot. I'm like, I suck, but it's like really okay, cool. And I'm
It's
like,
just I suck, but I'm
yeah.
the shit.
yeah, I mean, I'll kick your ass, but I suck. But it's like, really? Like you don't work this? You don't work any of these techniques or like drills? Like, no. I mean, like not at this level. I'm like, oh wow. Shit. Okay.
Nobody could take your time away from you.
No, like
that's what the belt's about.
And also, it's just the amount of time you put in. Because
so wait, sorry, hang on. I don't mean to cut you off in a mean way or anything.
Oh my god.
No, wait.
But do you train MMA?
No, but wait.
But do you even MMA?
Time out. The way he was just explaining, it was almost like he was like subtly saying, like, yeah, I don't really like train anything. I just go there and I fuck shit up. So like now I'm gonna take that. We're gonna circle back and I'm gonna be like, so how do you like? Outside of like jujitsu,
yeah.
Like, what is your mindset with jujitsu? Like, do you just go home? You're like fucking drums, baby. Yeah,
no, actually,
I play the drums.
No,
and then I just go and I jujitsu only, and then it's like back to the drums, fucking drums. No,
I really wish it was like that.
I just want to dive deeper into the
no, it's cool, man. It's
brain
cool.
space. Bro.
I definitely wish it was like that. I mean, pretty much whenever I use my drums, like I barely have time anymore because I'm just working like nonstop. I'm working. Jiu-jitsu if I can, if I make it on time. Yeah. And then also band practice, making time for that, and then just trying to fit other shit in my life. But I mean, pretty much when I go,
How often do you practice?
Well, our band practices at least once a week.
Nice.
Whenever we're free, we just meet at Connor's house and we're just jamming, chilling. And then if there's new songs, we go over them, try to figure them out, try to make them into eventual singles for next album. So we're always busy. We're always trying to make something happen. But like pretty much once I'm like done at jiu-jitsu, I just go home, relax, and then just pass out.
Nice.
So
busy guy.
In the beginning of your journey, was it just you were on fire right from the beginning and it never stopped, or did you get beat up?
No. Oh, I got beat up continuously. Absolutely. I mean, Eddie, Lenny know the like former people that used to be at our school, how rough they would get. They would.
I was never rough with you.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying you guys, but like certain individuals.
I knew it. You guys fucked me up, man.
Certain individuals in particular that would just be rough for no reason. Like obviously, it was just like. And Tritini, obviously, like that, he can attest to this. Like they would just continuously like be rough with you, getting you.
Were they like higher belts?
No, they're like some of them were like the same level at you, and then they would just keep coming at you.
This is like a specific, but we're not saying
saying names, so we're just gonna call Linda and Bob if we want to go that way.
Yeah, text me.
Is it that Bob
know
Burgers?
who we're talking about?
You know these people.
I probably do, but I don't fucking know.
Of course we know.
I can think of like 10 though as well.
I know of at least one, and I never even met him, and you guys have told me about him. Isn't Linda and Bob's Burgers?
They are in Bob's Burgers. Shout out to Bob's Burgers.
Yeah,
they have a movie coming out.
It's such a good fucking show.
There's a movie
It's a
coming
funny
out.
show,
It's
yeah.
really-
Dude, I think he's even funnier in that than fucking Archer, bro.
Yeah.
John Benjamin, John Benjamin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob's Burgers is great. My wife loves Bob's Burgers.
It's
too.
really good.
That's a good fucking
My
show.
favorite is
Ray loves Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
Ray, are you listening tonight?
My
He loves
favorite
Bob's
is the girl
Burgers.
with
Is he?
the bunny ears.
Shout out to
He
Ray.
might be. I did send a link. He might
I
be.
can't remember.
Oh shit! I know who
Wait,
you're talking
what'd you
about.
say?
Oh,
The girl with the bunny
Yeah.
ears is my favorite.
Yeah, but anyway,
On the show.
so this one guy, he would continuously get me in a bow and arrow continuously, like, but he would just be aggressive, getting his arm around my neck, just creeping deep, and like when he would come back, he would just wing it. He would just like
I'll
go.
fuck him up though.
I mean,
Now that
absolutely.
I know what you're talking about.
I mean, now, like, I want another shot at him.
yeah, you would fuck
Absolutely.
him up.
Absolutely,
You would fuck him up
Absolutely.
now.
No doubt.
But I remember he would try going hard. What the fuck?
What's going on? Morse code here? What's
No, we're still trying to think of Bob's Burgers.
I was telling you the name of the person they're talking about.
That's what I thought. Bob's Burgers.
but-
We're gonna be secret about this.
He would just he would,
I just didn't want to say it on the mic.
no, but he would just rip every submission on me, and I would just hate it. I would be in pain. I'm like, why am I even rolling with you? And it was just so annoying.
You know what sucks at white belt? At white belt, you don't know what to do to
You don't.
negate that.
You really don't.
Like once you like me now, like
Mhm.
when somebody comes at me, I can handle that. now.
Yeah.
I know what they're doing. I feel the energy
Mhm.
immediately,
Exactly.
and I'm able to protect myself in a way where it's like,
You
all
just
right, whatever.
adjust your role. You
Yeah.
go, all
Yeah.
right,
You got to just
this guy, I'm just gonna fucking just hold him, and just you're not gonna
One
for
No.
me
Oh,
anyway.
and even on the other, like if I'm on bottom and they're attacking me and they're putting me inside control, I'll just sit there. I'll be whatever.
Yeah.
I can breathe on.
I
this.
usually
This
just
doesn't
go
bother
open
me.
guard,
even mount.
and I just stay away.
Honestly,
Matter of fact, there's a lot
I'm
of
good
times
enough at
those
open
types
guard.
of people.
Just be like, if I really want to keep you fucking, someone's aggressive. Like,
I mean,
You
like
time
most,
out.
yeah, you got to
Get
time because
frustrating.
they're gonna use all their energy and all their strength on you, thinking that they're gonna win, but they're
and I'm
not.
just sitting on my ass.
Yeah,
for half the round.
I'll
Yeah.
just let them tire themselves out. And they're tired. I'm like, okay, and then I'll just go to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'll do.
I like that.
Oh, so he goes on our show and he's a Terminator. I fucking love
Do you,
it.
do you guys
Terminator.
like? I feel like now I'm developing like a more decent open guard defense. Is that when you guys started to feel it? Like at the beginning of like between 1 and 2 stripes, not blue belt.
And
Where
it
you
just
started to
depends, I
develop
think, on when
open
you
guard
become
game?
interested in it. I
Yeah.
started liking open a little bit sooner than that.
I liked it in white.
Yeah, I
White
started
belt,
doing
yeah.
some spider
Late-
guard.
I was
Late
gonna say
blue.
white guard.
I began to get like into open guard like late blue belt. Like that's when I started because like white belt to early blue, I was always pulling guard, like close guard. Like that's where I wanted. Like that's where I could keep you, hold you down. But like I really wasn't doing anything at that point. I was just holding you, and then
Just
like
getting to that position.
I was just getting to that position. But now it's
But
like
that's
one.
still important because
It
you're
is. It
building
absolutely
the
is.
you're
Which is funny because he doesn't use it at all now. Like, he doesn't,
Yeah, I think being
No.
like never
familiar.
in your fucking guard. You know, it's maybe your half guard.
Yeah, half guard, but like close guard, like with you barely. But other people, like once they get my close guard, like now I'm actually going for submissions. Like I'm not just holding them there, like thinking, oh, they're just gonna stay there. Like no, I'm going for like most of the time triangles, trying to sweep them, trying to go for other submissions, like maybe
Yeah, you're all
Kimuras.
about the counters, and then
It's counters.
I have to tell. I gotta give him credit because it's like I started seeing you start countering at like late blue and purple, and then it's like end of purple you started countering, and then also like all of a sudden it was like a blitz offense. It's like I'm dead. What's happening to me? Oh my god, Richie's fucking me up. And it was like I fought so hard, then he got like a nice sweep on me, and it was like Viking man
do
just fucking
you set intent
fucking me up.
Do I set the intent?
like
Oh.
when you come into school or come
Mhm.
for particular amount of time? Do you look at
Nah, man, I'm just playing the drums and I come in and
Yeah,
fucking
no, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Or do because it's for me listening to like as we're talking about this,
Mhm.
it sounds like you do have intent.
Yeah.
Like when you come into class or when you come into that month of training that
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I'm gonna go for this specifically
Yeah.
for this month.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that?
Honestly, I just go in and I just wing it. I just like kind of free ball it, kind of feel out how each roll is going, how I'm feeling that day.
So yes, you go home, play the drums, and then come back to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
and
pretty
just
much what I
fucking-
just said. That's exactly what I
Why do you
do.
think he started laughing? He's like, that's spot on.
I break rocks.
I make loud noises and I choke out people.
I
Yay.
pick things up and put them down.
I drink beer.
It's a good life.
That's not a bad life. It's pretty
No,
awesome.
it sounds awesome.
It's sweet, relaxing.
That's a good life.
So
I'll be in my 20s again.
So in your jiu-jitsu journey, what type of like would you be able to point out like some difficulties that you've had that maybe like caused you to plateau or
It's really interesting because I think it was just like going for submissions. Like I remember for the longest time I attempted triangles, but they were like so poorly half-assed where I would just get one leg up, but it would just be so like it wouldn't be like over the shoulder, it would just be hanging. People would be automatically like going like throwing it over. And that took me the longest to kind of build that flexibility and that quickness to just throw my leg there, lock them up in that diamond formation, and just start working from there, pulling the posture down, grabbing the leg, bringing the arm over, and just working that route. That took me a long time.
So you don't like, all right. So the way you explain this, you don't really self-reflect on like your, like what you've been doing, like the day, you know, like your training sessions.
Yeah, I really don't look at it.
That's incredible, man. Like I'm pointing out how incredible it is that you got this fucking far by I just show up.
Listen.
Imagine if he fucking
he
self-reflected.
does a really good job of verbalizing. Like I'm following as he's
No doubt he can explain it because you know when he has to think about it, he thinks about it.
Well, for somebody who's
no
not
doubt.
reflecting on it, you know what I mean?
My point being is like obviously if you get to a certain level, you should be able to explain it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
But he's
Fair.
literally explaining like, yeah, I don't self-reflect to make myself better. That's not how I get better.
Right.
at jiu-jitsu. It's literally just showing up muscle memory and training.
Yeah.
It's basically, and that's why I'm pointing out
Yeah,
it's
it's fascinating.
impressive, because it's like, fucking imagine if you just started doing that,
if you,
like start
studied
fucking
it.
studied it a little bit,
No,
you'd
but
be a
what-
fucking animal.
But what also helped me is like I always get this question from white belts. It's like I'm always getting submitted, like, you know, like what did you do at white belt? And honestly, I got caught in everything. Like I was getting caught in every single submission because I felt like that helped my defense. Because like
Yeah, I was like, why are we working technique still?
the
Richie?
more the more and more you get caught in that submission, you're gonna be like, okay, you're gonna understand what they're going for, how they're finishing it. So let's say, for example, Kimura. Like obviously your arm has to be out and then they got to do this. Okay, keep your arm in there. If you're doing there, it's like, okay, I got to move this way. Or if they're taking it back and going for a choke, like, okay, you pull the arm down, try to escape. Like, okay, then they got to move that way. Then you move this way. So it definitely helps you more and more as you get caught in those submissions. And that'll definitely help your understanding of how submissions are finished, how you're able to get out of those submissions and
Yeah,
better
because
your defense.
You can see where the holes are, the spaces are that allow people to escape out of it because you've done it.
Absolutely.
And that's like what's difficult. Like when I'm talking to somebody that has just started, I always try to tell them that exactly.
Mhm.
I'm like, just let it go. Like allow yourself to get caught and feel getting yourself caught. And the more like, for example, you learn very early on with arm bars to drop the elbow
Yes.
below the hip right to the mat. As soon as somebody's going for that arm bar, just break that space, get your elbow down to the mat, and that'll help you defend those arm bars. So if you don't allow yourself to fall into that, you never learn that. I mean, let me rephrase that. You're going to go into it over and over again, but the sooner you just accept it's okay to lose, now all of a sudden that's when you start to really sharpen and have understanding.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's definitely something tough. I mean, for me at white belt, like I was okay with it because I don't know, I didn't feel very egotistical about my game. Like I was like, I knew I was garbage. I knew I didn't know this stuff. I knew that it was going to take time. I would get frustrated when things would happen over and over again, and I couldn't. It's not that I wasn't thinking fast enough. It's just that I wasn't being successful in the defense. That was frustrating, but I mean, once you break through and you learn it, that frustration was worth it because, again, just like the belt, you can't take that time away from somebody.
No, because anytime, like we usually get into this position when I roll with you, like you obviously you've done a lot. Like anytime I get you in like shifted mount and like I'm trying to go for like a bow and arrow or a choke or something, like your arms are always tight. You're always doing that and you're always moving. You're always trying to get me off balance, which is awesome. And obviously I have to shift to mount, and then somehow you're just able to like get your leg inside my leg, make that space.
Dude,
and then
we've been. I feel like me and Richie's rolls, we've been living. Like we might as well just start every one of our rolls now on. We live with him in mount and me escaping.
Yes,
it is. I mean, every single time we roll, he gets the mount, and I'm sitting there just trying to escape.
He's escaping. I'm just trying to like maintain the position, manage my base, my timing, and just start moving. And he's moving, so it's just we're helping each other. It's awesome. I love it.
Literally, my mount. Like when people go to mount, I'm never worried, and that's the like how we talk about how like everybody in the gym gives you a piece of your game, and you learn a little bit, and everybody solidifies you. Richie has solidified for me escaping mount. That's legit. Like,
I did a thing.
Well, dude, I mean that's why styles make matchups, man.
It really does.
Because everybody tests you in some different position.
Yeah.
Rich is a great roll.
Dude.
Thank you.
Amazing roll.
Thank you.
Very it's funny because
it's been a couple weeks actually since I've rolled with
it's been
any
a while.
of you.
It's funny because
not that long.
We got to change
that
up
forever. I feel like
Yeah,
we got to change that up.
His demeanor.
Yeah.
His demeanor.
I only
rolls,
make it in like once a week, and it's been. I only made it in once in the last 2 weeks, honestly. But
his demeanor in
new
rolls
dad stuff
is you would think that he is reflecting all the time. Like his demeanor in the role, like when he's
Probably fucking doesn't. He doesn't realize he's doing it. He's just like, I don't ever do it.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. I'm just totally confused. I don't know why I'm here. Where is this place? I have no idea. I'm lost.
You're floating.
I'm floating in air on a little bubble cloud with Lucy in the sky holding her diamonds.
That's probably why he's good at jiu-jitsu, because he's so free flowing.
Guy's on drugs. He's not on drugs. You know what I mean?
So, Richie, you started playing in the band before or after you started training jiu-jitsu?
A little bit after, like that same year, that's when I started playing in this band. So pretty much I was in jiu-jitsu that June, July, that summer. And then like, I think it was like November, October during that. No, it was November because that was Thanksgiving weekend. We had the first band practice and like from there on. So within that year, both things happened.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Do you think that because you said you were looking for a hobby that year, right? That you started jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Do you think that like having that new outlet and hobby changed your mindset and like your ability to be able to dedicate to a band, or like, look at practice a little differently, technique, right? Like, are there any perspectives?
Well, if anything,
my question is that you were able to translate.
Jiu-jitsu over the years definitely helped my mindset without a doubt, and my maturity as well. Because like obviously I was skinny, I was scrawny. I'm like, oh, I can take on guys. I know how to defend myself. And then you do jiu-jitsu, you're like, oh shit, no, I don't.
I got beat up.
I got beat up. I go on the street. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get shot. That's pretty much what would have happened. But it definitely helped my maturity and also made me more humble of others. Because like you're gonna go like. For example, like we've all had this happen. New guy, white belt. You roll with him, super aggressive, has very great control, great pressure. He's a fucking wrestler. You're not going to know that shit because you're like, oh, he's a white belt. He doesn't know anything. You think, oh, I can take advantage of him. Nope, he's going to control you.
And he spears you.
He does. He does. But it's like one of those
shoulder
things.
In the breadbasket.
You can't assume just because of someone's size or their like knowledge.
I mean, if you're
jiu-jitsu.
another white belt, it's a problem.
Yeah,
but I feel like blue belt on, man, it's like
it's kind of easy.
Once you get past the initial blitz, it's like,
yeah,
okay, well, what are you gonna do from
how
here?
to manipulate that movement,
well,
right? Against
they get in your side control, okay, they're pinning me, okay, and then when you start doing like technical shit to like get to their back, they're like, what the fuck is happening?
Right. Yeah. Eventually, you start confusing them.
Yeah. Why is he going there?
But like, if
I love
anything,
going against wrestlers, it's like you feel their will break.
Like, dude, I had a kid who was going to wrestle D1. It was a white belt. I had no idea. We were doing drilling, and we were doing a side control drill. And right before that, we did a takedown drill because we usually start with the takedown drills. Yeah. When he was taking me down, I was like, "You know this more than I do." And he was like, he didn't really say anything, right? So we did the side control drill,
sandbagging,
and then I held him down, pinned him down, and he was you could see he was visibly frustrated. He was like upset, and like later on, I found out that he's basically committed to go to a college for D1 wrestling, and I was like, damn, I just held a D1 wrestler down. I mean, we started there. Like, I would have never probably been able to get him there, but at least.
No. I mean, if you had gotten him there, you could kept him there.
I mean, sure. That's one thing, though. But you gotta give wrestlers credit, man, because they have.
Yeah. Of course.
The fact that they're in their period, I think, is
but they're competitors.
Yeah, but different. It's just a little bit of the different, and yeah, they always have an edge when they come in as jiu-jitsu beginners.
Well, they're competitors,
and you can tell. They have a certain stance, a certain way they shift their hips around. You can tell. Like, I will usually ask someone, right, a new well, but I'm like, you've wrestled, haven't you? And I've never even wrestled, but I can still detect it. I could detect it in my new opponents.
You can tell because we fucking do our own backyard wrestling. You know what I mean?
Get the radar on.
It's not a radar; it's an observation.
I've detected.
No, do like the whole luchador wrestling with like the masks. Do like Nacho Libre style.
Only Rey Mysterio style. I do the Hurricanes.
My doppelganger.
Nice.
Nacho.
Nice.
So you went into that a little bit. So have you changed physically?
Physically, yes, absolutely. Physically, without a doubt.
Directly from jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely. Just being there, just working there, definitely got more muscular, more like a fit tone. Like I started getting a little bigger.
She's like, yeah, just swelled up.
Yeah, you know, it's like
Holy shit, Rich, you didn't have to rip your shirt.
I didn't rip it.
I'm kidding.
But no, but it definitely, and it also helped me more with my cardio as well, as it helps everyone, because you can run as far as you can, do as many running on a treadmill as you want. It ain't going to compare to jiu-jitsu cardio.
Yeah.
It's
different because you got to learn how
different.
to breathe.
Breathing,
with
you're dealing with
pressure.
other people's weights, and it's just you got to work with your breathing. That's the thing.
It's so funny when you get somebody to tap from pressure, and like you haven't even done anything,
No.
and they're like, and I'm like, what? You all right?
I've never had that.
I had that a couple times.
Never?
I'm like,
I've tapped the call.
Because I'm not like the only people I would be able to do that to is like a small white belt.
Bro, when you
I
smash,
fucking-
I've told you before, you feel like you're over
but
200
people can
pounds.
fucking handle it though.
If you get the right pressure, somebody's gonna tap.
Yeah,
you.
but my point is, I've never done it to like a white.
So maybe you should set intent.
What the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna make this guy fucking throw up and cry at the same time.
throw up, poop, and cry
Be
at the
more
same
of a
time.
bully.
I can't-
My
I-
intent.
I
Did you
can't
hear
wait.
that, guys? Did everybody on this podcast hear that
I
shit?
can't wait for
Fucking
you just
don't
Eli
be a
wants me to
dick.
fucking be a dick.
I didn't say
Don't
to be
be
a
a
dick. I said
He's-
we'll cause somebody to tap.
So
from pressure.
listen, guys.
There's a way to
just
do
know
it the right
Monday
way.
When I train again, you should just go fucking smack Eli in the face because he's the one that gave me the fucking idea.
He's advocating violence.
Oh man,
I'm advocating pressure, not violence.
Pressure is violence. Words and pressure, both violence.
Emotional damage.
Emotional.
Emotional damage. Oh,
So I think you spoke a little bit on before. A lot of mental changes too, right?
absolutely, and also definitely helped me being branching out, like meeting new people, being more social with others. Like that definitely helped because, like, obviously, because at that time I was going to Kane College, and I was just going to school, coming back, going to work, and it was just back and forth. So like obviously you devote most of your time during that. Like you're not going to be seeing anybody. You're just going to be like you're going to hate yourself, and you're going to want to do something more and like branch out and be more active. And that really definitely helped me because it gave me that outlet to just get away from everything, like go there for a couple hours and just
Goddamn dolting.
and just
sucks.
it sucks, man. And just even if you're not even training, just talking to people, just being a part of like the school and just keeping that interaction going, like that really helps a lot. So that definitely helped me without a doubt.
Yeah, man. You great outlet for that too, obviously, because you build that camaraderie amongst so many different variety of people, which is cool because you find different professions, interesting people, and then you go to war with them. And it's like Band of Brothers, Fuck.
So me and Eddie were talking a little bit about that last night.
No, we weren't.
We were. How
Just kidding.
like
we don't talk at night.
like he says he said this before on other podcasts that we go to war.
Yeah.
All right. So when somebody hears that and they
I
hear
didn't say it like that.
you hear the dramatic nature of
See,
that, it
that's great. I'm
sounds.
glad we have these deep talks and he doesn't understand what I'm saying.
It sounds like to somebody who's listening, they're
Yeah.
like, well, we're not soldiers. We're not.
No.
But in reality, it is a war because we're all dealing with life.
Mm-hmm.
We all come from different aspects of life, and we're coming to spend our time together and do jujitsu. And you end up reflecting on the mats about everything that you do. Things that sometimes you go in there and you're carrying a burden, and
Absolutely.
then you go through warm-ups, you go through the class, and then you start open mat, and you get a couple rolls through.
Like life again.
And all of a sudden now, like you the faucet opens up, and you're able to like be like, wow, so this is what was bothering me all day. And like the first time I'm verbalizing it is with one of my training partners.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me at the school. Like I'll do a couple rolls, and then all of a sudden the negative energy just like leaves me, and I'll be having a conversation with somebody, and it'll come out what was bothering me that day, and I'll realize how small in the grand scheme of things that thing was that was pissing me off.
Yeah.
It's Jiu-jitsu is great for that.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
mental
It
aspect.
really does.
Why
Because
do you
it
think
just
that is? You think it's because like through like the hardship of jujitsu itself, it calms your mind, and then you can just reflect on like the hardships of what you went through in your everyday life. And you're just like, you know what? I'll deal with it like a man. I'll fucking deal with this shit.
I think at
You know,
that
and
time,
just-
like you're just so overwhelmed with thoughts and like just like negative thoughts and just dealing with so much pressure that you just get there for like a couple hours. It just takes your mind off because you're active, and also you're worrying about someone breaking your arm, and you're like, okay, I got to focus more on my arm not getting broken, not getting choked out, but like also you're focusing on jiu-jitsu itself. You're not focusing on those problems. So that also that's what helps, I feel like.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. It's very isolating for my mind, and that's why I like it a lot. Is because I focus on nothing else but the role, the technique, the lesson, and then the role, the competition between me and my training partners. So, and there's really not much else that gets me there. I mean, even other hobbies that I have, like video games, which I don't do too often anymore, but even that, like, I enjoy it. It does help me escape, but I still have that compartmentalized, like, back of my mind kind of reminding me about the other responsibilities that I have to do. When I'm on the mat training, I don't have that. Like that subconscious voice, that other, that just thing behind it. I don't get that. It's only, what am I doing now? How do I protect this choke? How do I get this arm that I want to get? How do I pull this sweep? How do I distribute the weight? Whatever it is at the time. And that's why it's therapeutic for me personally. And I think for many people, I don't think that's a unique experience I'm describing by any means, but yeah, that's what I really like about it. Snap, snap.
Snappity snap, snappity snap.
Was that loud? I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I thought you guys were snapping like
I couldn't tell.
Right on. I jive with what you're saying.
No, I was trying to get his attention. I was trying not to.
So yeah, Eli, do you have more questions left for Richie? I do. Okay, so Eli's got a couple more questions. Then we're going to get into some videos of the week.
Ooh, videos of the week.
Oh, Eli's playing bartending. Thank you, my friend.
That's why I was snapping. I was just making sure he got, but then I did it. He was like, I have all.
I don't want to call out these brands specifically, but tonight's podcast is brought to you by Gold Foil Beers. Drink them. They'll get you drunk if you have enough.
So, what does JJ mean to you now?
BJJ. It definitely means a lot. Like, it's definitely like over the years, like, this school has definitely become my second family, without a doubt. Because obviously, meeting all the people, how much of an impact they've made on my life, on my training, and just all around is just absolutely something special to me. And it's like, definitely, it's very important to me. And I really can't see my life without having this school, any of you guys in it, without a doubt. Like, it's definitely helpful. So it means a lot. It means a lot to me.
That's fucking sweet. Yeah, it made me think, like, as you said that, like, oh fuck, what if something happens? This could be traumatic. Like, fuck. No, I agree, man.
It's great. I love the broad community that you get out of it.
Absolutely.
You meet so many different people, and you just, you connect in a different way. And you don't get along with everybody at the gym, but those that you do, it is a different type of bond,
and
because
that relationship's going to build and build over the years if you continue to grow with it. But like, when it builds, it's just awesome, because like, that's not only a training partner, that's a brother, that's a friend that you have.
Yeah, and there's so many different types of people that can help you. There's contractors, lawyers, optometrists, IT guys, developers, doctors,
musicians,
policemen, musicians. It's amazing. It's just a small little spot, and it's just like this little community that you have. And I would feel comfortable asking any of the above mentioned professions for a favor. And these are all real life examples that I provided to people that we know.
Water heater technician.
I would ask for these favors, and nobody would have a problem providing those favors to us, because we have a tight little knit community like that. And that's kind of cool.
Yep.
You know, I think that
Well, that's it. We just pointed out we have a community. So when the apocalypse hits,
and there's something,
everybody just run to the Jitsu, man.
Right,
We'll
Jim.
yeah.
and there's something else.
We will
about,
form the Megatron Jiu-Jitsu.
and there's something to be said
Not where I was
for,
going with it, but all right, we will.
there's something to be said for communities like that where the common thread is the hobby or the art or whatever it might be, because nothing else matters, right? Your culture, background, whatever else, it doesn't matter. So it just helps you get along with all different types of people, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's nuts too, because all those different,
Unless you're there to be a dick. Fuck you.
all those perspectives, all those perspectives also bring more to our individual games, because those people bring you something that you know, they have a way of the way they handle their life and their own careers and whatnot can lead to how their game is, which then all of a sudden has an effect on you. Like, obviously there's the positive of, you know, if you need somebody that has a specific skill, like usually there's somebody in the gym that could do it. But yeah. So what are your goals moving forward?
I mean, obviously, since
black belt.
yeah, I mean,
Fuck yeah.
I got my brown. I got to get my black now. There's no turning back.
He already said it. He already said it, man.
But
Like, this is his second family. He's in it for the long haul.
yeah, I mean, and then also, like, obviously, like, improving my game as always, because, like, obviously, I know for a fact that my game may not be perfect. It's my game, but, like, I definitely know what I need to improve on, what I need to get better at. So, like, obviously now it's like when I'm just gonna sit down and be like, all right, I need to work on this, get better at this, and just progress forward. And then also just be more open, more vocal on how techniques work, because recently I've been helping Radji out with with the kids classes, and then helping him with the beginner, the basic fundamentals classes we have for the normal adult classes. So that definitely has helped me a lot with my understanding and just like, just like being more vocal of how techniques are done step by step, what they have to do. So that definitely has helped me more in my jiu-jitsu, without a doubt.
So Neil wants to know what's our favorite guards.
Interesting. Guard, I would have to probably say, with me, like, I've always felt comfortable with close guard. Close guard, because, like, I feel like I can definitely do a lot more. Just like start working the gis, working my foot, and then just again working triangles or not, just working sweeps again. So I just felt like in that position I'm more comfortable with it as well.
Me? I'm next. I'm next. All right.
Yeah, Eddie.
I'll tell you,
go clockwise.
I'll tell you what I fucking hate the most. Fucking full guard. My legs always cramp because I'm small. So I fucking can't, like, you know, everybody's
You
bigger.
can't get
than me.
around.
Everyone's bigger than me. So I don't play that at all. My favorite's open guard.
I've never. You're right. I've
always
never
play-
seen you in close guard.
Nope. Don't fucking
Ever.
Yeah, I've never seen you in close. I'm gonna get you in your close guard. I'm gonna.
No,
make
it
you
doesn't
hate- I'm gonna
matter.
make
It
you
doesn't
hate
Next
matter.
time we roll, we're starting in close guard.
You guys don't get it.
He's not going to close. He's
I'm
not going to close the
my
guard.
I'll make
I'm
you
gonna
close.
go
I
into
will
open
make you
guard.
close your guard.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna.
It's the
I'm
one
a-
thing you
You
can't
can
do
do
in
it.
jiu-jitsu. You cannot make your opponent close their guard. You just can't.
I'm a very offensive thinking
You really are.
opponent at this point. So, like, it doesn't matter if I'm playing defense. I'm already thinking to sweep you, and usually that always contributes with open guard for me. I like half guard too. I do. I'm very comfortable under half guard because Radji's game is really built very well in half guard. So I've adapted a lot of that too. But, like, I'm very quick at open guard, and, you know, I'm just quicker at it to just get to where I need to be in sweeps and shit like that. And, you know,
That's definitely where you're most comfortable.
yeah.
What about you? I
I think, like, I wanted to answer close guard like Richie, but hearing Ed's answer, it's kind of like a hybrid of the two, because I want to get you to my close guard because that's where my finishes and my sweeps and stuff like that are. But a lot of my movement involves me opening the guard to whatever, right? Shift my hips, put my foot in the hip.
Well, you're
move around.
taller and you're longer, so you adapt a little bit of both.
But I guess I'm
Makes
gonna
sense.
lean towards saying closed guard because I do a lot of chokes, and I mean it's weird to say sweeps because you have to open the, like, you're not sweeping somebody with your
legs closed,
legs closed in the closed guard.
but it is
right?
a closed guard sweep.
So I actually a lot of my
mean-
sweeps from there have to do with butterfly hooks. I use the most in a bottom position for sweeps, honestly. But
I do like butterfly guard too.
to make the answer short, I guess it's closed guard because that's where I'm really pulling the chokes and Kimuras and whatever else.
Pushing somebody's elbow through to go to the back.
Or it's like there's not a lot of setup involved. I use sweeps where like my guard is closed, and then it's like I make a move and sweep you. So yes, you have to open up your legs and open the guard, but yeah, it's closed for me.
Shit, I want to take it back now.
No take
No,
back.
because-
Great question, Hot Neil.
No take
201.
backs.
No, it's a good one because mine's more hybrid of open guard and butterfly guard because I switch between
Yeah.
both.
You do switch between butterfly guard and open
Well,
guard.
that lift, you know,
Well, it doesn't matter. It's like I know I play both because I'm also reading my opponent what they're giving me.
You and I don't end up there a lot.
Me and you do.
Butterfly. In butterfly?
No,
No,
because
me and him. We up in the
yeah,
butterfly.
because you and me are different. It's either I'm on top and I'm like I can't let him get on top because if you get on top, it's like I'm never
Forget it. Forget it. I don't
I'm
want
like,
you
I-
on top of me. I
it
love
doesn't
you,
matter.
Eli. You're not on top of me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll fucking like sometimes I make a mistake and there's like 3 minutes. I'm like, fuck, man. What the fuck? I'm like, how did I do that? I'm mad at myself because I'm like sitting there and there's 30 seconds left. I finally get out. I'm like, geez, it took me 2 minutes. Fuck.
Well,
He's
thank
fucking
you.
good for you.
Thank
Fuck
you.
guy.
Side control for me. This is like
You do side control and knee. You
know.
fucking.
Your side, your
But
side
he has
micro
guard.
pressure
What's
is
your
very
favorite
good.
guard?
Very
That's
good.
not a guard.
no, it's not a guard. The
X
X,
talking about between us.
yeah, between
I'm
us.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, for me now playing with X guard, it's been a lot of fun, man.
I like X guard too.
It's
Yeah.
been
Can I
a
come
lot
back?
of fun.
Let me go back.
Going back to
It's like all of the guards.
Wait, wait, wait. I wanna
go back.
I wanted to mention Jared because I used one of his quotes on our post this week. He, to paraphrase it, he said that with all the time that you spend at the school and all this time that you're there, during that time, what do? You bond with the people that you're with, and that's one of the best parts of jiu-jitsu is your bond that you've built with them. But he held a seminar, and in that seminar we did a lot of X guard, and then now Shlok's been teaching it. He's been doing it for like the last month and a half.
He's been teaching it for even longer than that
Yeah.
seminar, right? That hits one of his.
I mean, Schultz's
one of his
classes are
things.
just absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I love his
Yeah.
They're
classes.
like small seminars.
They're awesome.
I wish I could make it to more, but I always see the videos that we capture, and I can just tell. And because I've been to a few, I know.
I'm glad
his
he's starting
attention
to
to
at least
detail is great.
I'm glad he's at least starting to teach Fridays because I'm like, great, now I can make more of them. But they're fun to do. He definitely teaches it, explains it so well, and it's actually effective. I mean,
Hell yeah.
I mean, definitely want to use it more, but like his classes are very good, very informal, very impactful. Absolutely,
The details are like.
his
Mhm.
his
Unbelievable.
details is awesome.
And
Yeah,
now-
shout out to Shlok, guys. Check out his episode was 15 in case you guys missed it.
He's also a brown
Great
It was
belt.
a great interview.
Yeah,
And
all
now-
these brown belts coming up in the last month and a
Yeah,
half.
dude.
I want to do an
A
Instagram
lot of
video with you
experience
guys.
coming by the Adaptive Podcast.
I want to do a one of the Instagram videos with all the brown belts and be like, I don't know if you've seen the clip, the soundbite, and it says, it all started when one dumb ass met this dumb ass and another dumb ass.
I'm offended.
Dumbass.
That's it. We're canceled. Thank you, guys. This has been the final episode of the Adaptive Podcast.
Fuck that noise.
Fuck you. We'll see you on Rumble next week.
So I have
Fuck you. We'll just see you next week.
I have 2 more questions.
Okay.
All right. So
All right.
I interviewed a couple weeks ago some of the guys at the school, and I don't think I got to ask you this question, but what would you tell your white belt self?
This is like a Eli segment now.
What would you tell your white self?
What would you?
All right. So what would I tell my white belt self? I would honestly.
Pay no mind, man. Just go with it. You got to push through.
Eli's dying. Okay, everybody.
Push through.
Pay
Push
no
through.
mind to the wheezing Cuban.
Wheezing Cuban. So I would definitely tell my white belt. I would definitely tell my white belt self, like, be more aggressive, be more willing to like go for different things, go for attacks more often, and just always just keep a positive mindset. Because obviously during that time, you're going to go through a lot of doubt. You're going to see a lot of people progressing above you. And even like during the same time, that's going to like kind of make you think like, what am I doing wrong? Am I not being good enough? Like, is this even for me? But really,
and to further to your point, man, just to piggyback off of that,
Yeah.
how amazing is it that you progressed and now you're brown belt, and all those people that probably progressed a little quicker than you
Yeah.
no longer even do jiu-jitsu.
that
Shit like that.
that's
Or
another,
you're better than now at this point. You know what I mean? So it's
no,
like,
but it's all
just stick with that shit.
absolutely like
You know? Fucking Eli and Lenny are passing love notes to each other.
Amanda said the Wheezing Cuban is a great fight name.
Oh my god.
It's gonna sound like doesn't sound like he has great endurance though.
No, yeah, it sounds like you're like a one round, one hit wonder kind of type dude. Like you get that knockout. That's it.
No, but definitely tell them like go for more submissions. Don't be afraid. If you're not good at them, just keep going for it. Go for attacks. Just have a positive mindset. Don't worry about anything else. Just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy pretty much what you're going through, what you're learning, what you're observing, and what people are helping you with, what you're helping people with as well. Like just enjoy every moment of it. That's really what I want to tell myself and other white belts too. Like just enjoy the moment, enjoy the ride. Cause like 7 years, I'm already a brown belt, so I'm like, fuck, I gotta get ready for black belt.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, the expectations change, right?
It does.
I feel like
And
even at purple,
and then you look at the brown belts now,
Yeah.
like the most recent brown belts. It's me, Eddie, Schloke, Mike, and then it's just like, all right, now we got to set the standards. Now we got to be like, all right, no dicks, just like.
Wait, where's Richie going with this?
Nowhere. Stop. Fucking Christ. But just like,
You know, it's funny. I was about to start speaking because I'm like, oh, you made a great point. And I had something, and he's like, dicks. I was like,
no more dicks.
No more dicks.
no, but pretty much just set the standard. Like, don't like no like just a nice friendly environment. Nobody's like beating each other up. Like obviously you're pushing each other to do better, but just don't be too aggressive about it. Like help them, let them work through the struggle, and then it's just always helping each other, like being there for being a support system for one another. Like that's really what the school is about.
This is your advice to new white belts.
Absolutely. Like we're
and
here,
your old white belt self. I think I agree with that, and it goes along with what Eli says a lot. You know, it's like, listen, man, jiu-jitsu matures you a lot in a lot of ways, you know, into life, different other aspects. But like, what I think is interesting is if you just set intent from the beginning, even from the beginning, just set intent that you're like, I'm going to become great at this. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy it. If you enjoy it and you're like, I want to learn that shit, even if you can't fucking do it, but you're like, that shit's awesome. Like, have that passion. Let that be your drive. Don't let like the competitive, like a lot of people that can't fucking, even if the blue, I mean, I feel like if you get your purple, you're for the most part, unless there's like a bad injury, we'll probably get to your black. You know, you stick around, or maybe like other things get in the way, sure, whatever. But I feel like to be in it for the long haul, you just gotta like set that intent early on that like I'm gonna be great at this, but don't not from a perspective like I'm gonna be fucking, I'm better than that. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm like fucking better than you. Yeah. No, it's like I'm just gonna be great at this. I'm gonna be the best I could be every fucking time out and be better than what I was before. It's an individual fucking thing anyway. Yeah. If you have that ego and you start comparing yourself to the next person, you actually start limiting yourself anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you narrow the scope.
How fucking great anybody can be. There's always gonna be that one person out there. And that doesn't matter.
That's another thing.
Matchups. So none of that matters. You got to look inward to become great at jiu-jitsu anyway.
Yeah.
Or anything in life.
Great point.
So My last question. So me, blue belt.
Yep.
What am I focusing on?
So pretty much what you're doing right now, you're doing very good at the pressure. So definitely when you're on side control pressure, definitely look to go like automatically go to mount. Like, cause that's the first thing I'm like, cause if I'm on side control, I'm automatically going for mount. Like always, and then like you always see me trying to like be quick with my leg. If you can't do that, just do the simple knee slide pass. Just keep it there. Keep the top of your foot. Just keep that hook in there and just keep that pressure. They're gonna move. Like especially with that weight, they're gonna move into you, and that's gonna allow that momentum to bring that foot over.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you're in that, just stay nice and tight. Try to go for high mount. Look for a Kimura Americana, Ezekiel, or just make them turn on their side. That way you can get into shifted mount, and then you go for bow and arrows, arm bars, rear nakeds, the whole shebang. Like
awesome.
that's pretty much where you go from there.
Love it.
Attack them out.
Go to mount.
Richie's advice to blue belts.
Just go
I
to
love
mount.
it.
Right now, I've been living on that neon belly and just traveling.
Fuck your neon belly.
Yeah, dude.
traveling.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
try to avoid all neon bellies at all costs.
No. Him. Our him. Fuck this guy's neon belly.
Him.
it's work.
You broke my ribs the other day, you fucker.
Excellent.
Excellent. They're not broken.
Something happened.
All right. Well, so we're running towards the end here. You guys want to get into our favorite Instagram videos of the week? Let's do it. We don't really have a name for the segment this week, but of course we like to curate our favorite shit throughout the week and share it with you guys because it's all funny stuff. This isn't sharing to the audience yet, so hold on one second.
I don't know why, bro.
Oh,
I'm like
man.
a fucking fifth grader that's in like class.
Aren't we
and,
all
like, you're
fifth graders?
That you're trying not to laugh, and like you and like
Yeah.
one other person's just like you're like fucking all crazy.
So for
Trying to hold it in.
so for somebody who's not
There we go.
watching and they're listening, we're watching what appears to be a female at a
It's a
Kentucky Derby
last
slipping
week.
on the stairs.
But she's she's obviously like trying to like dude's filming her. She's trying to be all diva. She's in a nice dress, one of
She's a
those
big
big
hat
fucking
on.
hat on, and she's got her fucking cocktail in one hand,
Oh,
her
and
jacket
the
in
hat
another.
jiggling.
She's
is
like, look at
hilarious.
me, I can't step. She slips,
Yeah, she definitely went to brunch.
and then she has that face at the end like this one went terribly, terribly wrong.
What's this next one? The Gentleman.
No,
Oh, that's
play
long.
that.
That's
Yeah.
long. Yeah,
Too
don't
long.
play
We're
that.
gonna
whatever.
skip that
Yeah, we're
one.
skipping that one. What else we got?
Oh,
Oh, the package.
Oh, are we playing the
We're gonna
sound?
play the audio. Yeah. Hold on.
Yo, where you paused it. All right, so this is some fucking asshole that's stealing like an Amazon package, but somebody who watched Goonies as a kid decided to leave a fucking booby trap, and so fucking street vengeance right here.
Len, I'll do this. I'll put my microphone for me and Richie.
Oh man.
Yo, did they set up a gun in the fucking thing? Did he just get shot? What the
That's what your bitch ass get. Analogs on the way.
and the ambulance is on the way. This guy had a fucking out in case something went wrong.
He went back up to the ring camera and it's like, yo,
Timeout. He's like, dude, he's like, bitch, yo, he was already like, I'm suing you. Like, you fucking shot at me.
Yo, man, the
Like,
package
you
that
suing-
tried to stole your package, that stole your package, it exploded to me. I'm gonna sue your ass. How dare you? Yeah, so
wait, one more
Yeah,
time, one
yeah,
time.
yeah.
So Len, this is illegal, right?
I was just gonna say it can't be legal to booby trap packages and detonate them on the thieves.
but
Even
it's
if
his-
you're
I think it's
his
agreed upon.
package, so
I
I
think
don't
it's
see a problem with it.
package, but like, dude,
Don't steal a package.
Yeah,
it's
wait, wait,
lethal.
wait, wait, wait.
Like, what if there's
Time out.
Hershey Kisses
Time
in that
out.
box?
Hold
Is
on.
there-
But that's his property.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. Judge Ed. We should call this. Segment Judge
I'll
Ed.
allow it.
Wait, so
Fuck that.
check this out. I have a take.
Yeah.
I have a hot take.
We know the laws.
It's his property. If he's trespassing, if it's one of these states where you're trespassing on your property,
What's
you can
the
do
law
whatever you
there?
want to them.
Yeah, motherfucker. This ain't
Yeah.
Jersey where you got to be cornered in the back room of your
Can you
house
play
where
the
there's
video
no
one
windows.
more time, please?
There's
I'd
no-
love to see this one more
You gotta
time.
be under your bed. Fucking. Wait. Shh.
I know you've been stealing my shit.
Oh.
Broke ass nigga, yo, broke ass nigga. That's what your bitch ass get.
Hey, look at my ass.
Did he just,
Yo, wait, hold on. Yeah, he just checked his underwear for shit and then smelled his hand.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Ed,
Shit himself.
He didn't.
Ed, watch.
Yeah,
He's like, did I shit myself?
Literally
What?
just
Sniff?
sniffing it.
Oh, yeah.
Sniff?
Yeah. He sniffed it.
Wow, what a catch. What a catch.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Holy shit.
Oh, what a great video.
He's like, yeah, because he was like, did I piss myself or shit myself? I'm scared shitless, bro.
All right,
Holy fuck.
this one might hit us with the copyright, but I do not give a shit because the video is too funny, so we're gonna share it anyway.
All right, so wait, backstory before we play this. Anybody that watched last week's fucking main event, there was 2 title fights. There's also fucking awesome Coco main event between fucking Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler. Tony Ferguson was actually doing work on fucking Michael Chandler. Actually was fucking beating his ass from the guard. We're going to go back to guards now, right? He was fucking throwing elbows, beating him up, throwing punches, whatever. And then in the second round, early on, the video. I thought you were ready.
Sorry, I was
kicked in
the face. I was looking at some comments.
Yeah. So yeah, Michael Chandler front kicked fucking Tony Ferguson in the face. I guess just said that. And this was the picture they captured at the moment of impact. And look at Tony Ferguson for a second. For a second, you know, he jammed out.
This is actual footage from the fight.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So
All right,
I
I
thought,
The amazing
I
part
thought,
is he got this out right
I
before he went
thought-
out cold.
I really
Yeah.
thought that
He died after that.
I thought he was dead.
He died after that.
bro, no,
He
seriously
literally-
though.
that was his last word.
Seriously though, we were at
But
the,
he
we were at
did.
the bar.
He survived
No, so-
He
dying.
survived. Everybody's like,
So Michael,
He survived
they
dying.
clapped that shit.
Michael Chandler was doing like 7 backflips as Tony Ferguson's face was like it was face down, ass up, like he was dead. Like I
It was
thought
an
that guy.
honorable death.
Like, what kind of a death is that when someone's like your ass is up and somebody's doing backflips? Like it's a
It's an
victory.
honorable death.
We were at the bar. we were at-
Oh yeah. All right. So this bimbo, fucking moron, decided to storm the Capitol.
Oh, this is great right here.
She for the
Storm
people
the Capitol.
for the people who are listening, she's at I think
She
it was
pulled a
UFC
J6.
274,
Oh, I don't mean it
273?
like that.
and she decided she was
Fuck
gonna
that, that's
run to the
nonsense.
octagon.
Anyway.
was more serious.
This was more.
Go ahead, go ahead,
This is
Len.
real.
Go ahead, Len. Press play.
This is real life.
This actually happened. This was the real storming of the Capitol right here.
You fucking asshole boyfriend. Go, girl. You got this.
You got this, baby.
Yeah, you super.
You won't get hurt at all.
Ready? She got fucking tossed. Yo, I love how the security guard didn't even move in on her. He was like, "You're done now.
Yeah.
You're fucking done."
Can zoom in a little bit, Len. Oh, this is great, bro.
That boyfriend's a fucking jerk off.
He body checks her like this is dope.
Oh shit!
That's like, oh shit! And it worked! And it worked! Fucking moron! Wow. Like,
She actually did it. What? That's hilarious.
What did she think was gonna happen?
So do you guys want to do the Italian lady or skip to the Elden Ring one?
Do the Italian lady.
Do the Italian lady too. Amanda's definitely saw this one. She sent me this one a couple weeks ago. It was funny.
Staying alive.
So, she watching Saturday Fever, or she listening to the album?
She's listening to the Bee Gees.
Staying alive.
Staying alive.
Staying alive.
You know what's funny? Like when she was singing these lyrics, she didn't think to herself, like, what am I actually saying? Like maybe.
She's hilarious. What is this account? What is the account? Because
But she has some of the
it's
funniest.
really great. Yeah. Is it this one? It's at Lily_Hayes. Really good. And so this is the video that we fucked up during the intro with.
So for people who don't know, this game is like a Dungeons and Dragons, but just
No, it's not.
yes, it is. It's like an
A
overworld
fucking
Dragons.
RPG. What role am I playing? The fucking victim? Jesus fucking Christ!
I mean, if you play video games, do you think you could beat this? What's going on?
What role am I playing? The fucking victim? Jesus fucking
Is that like a
Christ!
giant?
It's supposed to be a fucking RPG. What role am I?
Actually, relatively easy
So
for me.
if you saw the beginning of the
This guy's
show,
farming like
this
a
was
motherfucker.
playing when it first started. This was playing when it first started. So we apologize.
We
for
accidentally
that.
played the audio. Yeah, we were trying to play the
What
intro
the
song.
fuck?
So Mike,
What the fuck? This is a game. It's an RPG. What the fuck? What kind of role am I playing? The victim?
so Mark Reyes gives us an idea here for the name of the segment. He just calls it simply the Weekly Roundup.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
We love it. We love it, Mark. We might have to take that into consideration and use it.
Gracias.
Yeah, so that's all the videos we have this week. I guess we'll wrap it up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Richie, thank you so much for joining us this week. It was awesome having you.
Thank you for having us. It was definitely had a fun time. Hopefully, be on here again sometime.
Get on your mic a little bit more.
Oh,
Sorry.
my mic, right? Which
No,
one's
his
on?
mic.
My mic. Okay.
It's on. There you go. Sorry.
Cut me
Say it
off,
all
you-
over
You
again.
cut me off, you bastard. But thank you guys for having me. Definitely a lot of fun to be on here. Hopefully I'll be on here on the future.
Hell yeah, man.
Definitely love the show. Definitely a lot of fun to be here.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Absolutely.
It was awesome. It's a
Lot of
pleasure
fun.
having you on. And what the fuck?
Yeah, and Richie, where can we find your band?
So you can find our band on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It is Mother, and also we just recently made a TikTok, so you can find us at Mother Leads Band. So at Mother Leads Band at any of those locations, Mother Leads Band on YouTube and Spotify, and you can gain all our music there. Know what upcoming shows that we have going on, what new releases, and just all the info and everything that we got. And then also gives you links to our website, so you can buy gear, shirts, stickers, keychains, and we're going to be having scarves and then possible hats, whatever. We don't know. I don't even know what's going to be coming out, but we're going to have some cool gear coming out soon. So definitely be on top of that.
Nice. And as always, what the fuck? Where's my shit?
I don't know. Someone's mic is open.
All right. Well, either way, I'm just gonna say it. Buy our shit at adaptedjujitsu.com.
Definitely.
We sell rash guards right now and patches, and we got more coming soon on the way. We got good gear, and fit you for your good training.
Yeah, guys, check out that gear at adaptedjujitsu.com. We have new stuff coming your way every single week. Great training. Check us out at Adaptive Jiu-Jitsu on Instagram.
Can
and
that
don't
be a new
forget
motto?
what?
Sorry, Lynn. I think this
Great
should be
training.
I think it should be a new motto.
Wear our shit for good training.
Good training. Yeah.
Wear our shit for good training. I really like it, actually.
Adapt or get tapped.
Yeah, and that's just him training.
So, guys, check out our great gear for twaining at adaptivejujitsu.com. And don't forget, the podcast would not be possible without Radji Barret Jiu-Jitsu Academy. You can follow him at Radji Barret Jiu-Jitsu on Instagram and at RadjiBarrettJiu-Jitsu.com. Richie, he told you all the places you could see his band. We're going to play a little bit more of the song during the outro here. And again, thank you for joining the Adaptive Podcast. We will see you guys next week on Saturday or Sunday. Stay tuned to our Instagram, and we'll let you know exactly when that will be. All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.
I don't have to take a shit this time.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It must be the twaining.
It's fifthly, you're twaining.
It's all the twaining. I don't know why the music's not playing, so silent outro this week. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you again next week.
Peace out, home scout.